Good evening, everyone. As we talked about last week, the mouse that is Mickey has recently purchased 21st Century Fox, so Disney now owns Marvel, Star Wars, and an English muffin stand on 21st Street in New York City. Recent interview with the mouse had him saying, quote, "I can't actually talk because I'm a mouse," unquote. And after the drugs wore off, the reporter realized that he had been talking to a wall in an asylum. USA Today denies that he has ever worked for them. Yeah. Well, the upcoming live-action Dora the Explorer movie is set to star Danny Trejo, the B-movie and other weird independent film star, because an adventurous child movie clearly needs to be lightened up with a man who has starred exclusively in rated R films. Though on a side note, this film has not yet been rated, so heck, you never know. The star has spoken out saying Danny does an interview. Then he pulled out a machete and the reporter wet himself. It was a sort of embarrassing moment that we don't really want to talk about. To end, though, on a ridiculous note, Nicolas Cage is going to star in a martial arts movie titled Jiu-Jitsu, in which he'll be battling aliens. That is actually not a joke. But this show is. It's the early late night live show, everyone. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. And I don't know, let's roll the opening credits. Talk to you later. I need a countdown, Jack. Hello, 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 everyone. It's the early late night live show. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 on our channel Exeter 98. And we are on Facebook on the early late night live show Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, the early late night live show YouTube channel. Last week we weren't on Facebook because, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg seems to have a problem with us. But I've got a gavel this week. So I ruled that we are on Facebook this week, which I'm very happy about. Yay, yay, yay. And then my phone just said report a problem. I don't know what's going on with this, but there we go. We were on for a second, and there we go. I want to say a quick shout out to Pierre Rumpf, who's in the Facebook live room, who actually has a very close connection with our guests tonight. Kara Camo is in the Facebook live room, and a whole bunch of other people whose names haven't popped up yet. Renee Bergeron, yeah, it's great.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay, Renee.
Anyway, sitting with me always, unfortunately, is my sister, KJ Traynor.
Hi.
Hi. And seriously, Mitch?
To balance things out.
Yeah, to balance things out.
So, well, you're like one out of the two of us.
Huh?
You're like one out of the two of us.
That's true, yes. It changes
Congratulations,
from,
Mitch.
No, it changes from week to week, too. It's like sometimes I'm sort of in a Mitch mood, and actually, no, it's really just Mitch.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
So, yeah.
How do I feel about that,
anyways,
actually?
And Eric Bellamore is also in the Facebook live room. Hello, Eric. So we posted the trailers that we are reviewing. We're going to be posting them weekly, so if you guys get a chance, go on and check it out, not during the show, but check out the show. And if you leave a comment and a rating of what you think about the trailer, we'll actually announce it when we do Trailer Trash later on in the show. But I think Mitch had a little bit of a flashback moment last night, didn't you?
What? We're going to talk about that now?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. You're wearing a KISS shirt, for goodness sake, all right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, you know, usually we dress up a little, well, not me, obviously, but yeah.
No, actually, it just felt like it was the right thing to do. So,
Yeah.
And
you were like
I was going
beaming.
to talk about it on during the new segment. Right?
Yeah, the end of the show. But
My segment, if you will.
Right, but we're going to have people sitting throughout the whole time going, is that a KISS shirt he's got?
It is a KISS shirt.
That's true. Yeah, good point. Might as well just get address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ray Bergeron says, Showtime. Pierre Rumpf says, hello. All right, hello, Pierre Rumpf. Actually, I had a private concert last night with a friend of ours, Jeff Scumpy Lorenz, who is an actor who worked in The Dinner Party, worked in Chance. Yes, and he's writing a song that he wants to do for our film, the short film we did, the last two. And so I went and met up with his band, and I posted a little bit on it last night, which is pretty cool. But right now, we're turning over to the news.
We are. Okay, so Captain Marvel was bumped out of the #1 spot by Us, which is the Jordan Peele horror movie that just came out. It's
so Us bumped them.
Oh, Us, yeah, the horror film.
He's the one that's doing the new Twilight Zone series for CBS, which I'm really kind of excited about because he's very good at horror.
Okay, first of all, I thought about sparkly vampires for a second.
No, wrong. Twilight. Talking Twilight Zone.
Right, yes, okay, all right. The Twilight Zone, the actual...
That one.
Yeah. So which was... you ever
Was
watched...
the old one.
Yeah.
The old one's black and white right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They starred about everyone.
William
Renee
Shatner was in
Garcia is in the house too.
Oh.
So I wonder if Renee happens to be related to our guests tonight, the Garcia brothers, who are coming to talk about the film Blood Throne. So I don't know.
So.
I'm going to look at the guys who stand behind the camera.
We're getting a nod here.
We're getting a nod. Yes, we get the nod, people. So hello, Renee. Yes. All right. So yeah, we'll go on, talk about the news. I think that's what you're good at.
That's what I'm
I'm good at here watching you talk about the news.
Yeah. That's exactly it. So go on.
Well, there is a Twilight Zone connection because William Shatner, who was in at least 3 episodes of the Twilight Zone, he turned 88 this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. He has aged very well, though.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, I really like William Shatner, and I was actually, me and Hannah were actually watching Trouble with Tribbles. We were on Netflix. She said, "Oh, let's watch an episode of Star Trek." She liked the
Next Generation.
Next Generation, yeah.
We can be friends anyway.
We can be friends anyways, yeah. But she said, "Oh, let's watch one of the episodes of Star Trek." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I haven't seen Trouble with Tribbles in forever, and I forgot how much I really liked Captain Kirk. I'm like, this guy was so awesome, you know. And like, I don't know, totally taken aside, but there's a line where he says, you know, I have never disrespected, you know, a superior officer until now. And it's like, this guy was totally awesome. Let's see, we got.
I think my favorite part of that episode is when he freaks out, like he just flips out because they're in his coffee. Like he orders the coffee and there's a tribble in it, and he's like, all right, now it's done.
Now I want these. So we got.
Merchandise those things, you know.
We got Riley Brazel. Hopefully we're pronouncing that correctly.
Oh.
I miss the Garcia brothers. I loved working with them on Blood Throne as hair and makeup. So I guess we know of another hair and makeup person who is, you know, that's a very good way to plug yourself, Riley. I appreciate that. Okay, what else we got in the news?
Okay, so Bruce Willis is also having a birthday this week. So is Scott Eastwood. So it's a big week. And Kurt Russell and Ursula Andress, all people that we know and like.
Wow, Ursula Andress, famous first Bond girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, remember we were talking about Mickey bought everything, and you said that.
No.
Well, Peggy just pointed out that if Disney buys Bond, the Bond girls will be Disney princesses. I just thought I ought to share that. Yeah.
If you guys were watching last week's episode, as soon as Kate Eppers brought that up, I actually walked out of the room. Which, by the way, we are in this room for the next couple of weeks, which is a pretty cool room. So, and we got these leather chairs, but we were told by the director to stop doing this.
I'm really trying hard.
Yeah,
I am really trying hard.
Yeah, don't give us swivel chairs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways.
Sort of like, don't give me like a, stress ball because I just play with it the whole time.
Yeah. I can bounce. All right. So what else we got in the news?
Okay, so there was an auction over the weekend for a Harry Potter book. It was one of the first 500 that they printed in England. So it was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And it contains 3...
They called it, in England, they call it the Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah. It's got a different name here because they thought it would confuse Americans.
Well,
a philosopher's not a... Yeah, okay. Do they know what a philosopher is, though, versus a sorcerer?
Yes. Anyway, that's another subject.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Maybe I am confused. No, that's not another subject. Okay. All right. Okay, listen. They were going to call License to Kill License Revoked, and they thought in the James Bond film that came out in 1989. And they said they didn't think Americans would understand what revoked meant, which I found a little bit insulting. I don't think they understand what philosophy meant.
We'd be like, wait, he can't drive now?
Right, yes, okay. And so I don't think they understand what a philosopher is, though.
Well, it's actually a term. It's a term that a philosopher's stone is a thing.
Is a thing.
Okay. They just know that most Americans don't. At the time, they knew most Americans don't know.
Maybe they're right about that. It's still a stupid name. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm just saying. All right.
Okay, but the real point of this story was this book has 3 errors in it. It's got a repeated page, and they said Joanne Rowling instead of J.K. Rowling.
Okay. Joanne didn't like that.
No.
Right? She was not in favor of that. She's like, I am not the
entitled
book that has that. It should be a sorcerer. Do you even know what a philosopher is? All right, J.K. Anyways, move on.
It was auctioned off. Anyway, this book was auctioned off for $90,000.
That's it?
for a book with 3 mistakes in it?
I'm sure we could sell something else with 3 mistakes, much more than that. I mean, heck, they sell Aston Martins all the time for way more money than that. They got a lot of mistakes in them.
As speaking as someone who has a book with an error in it, I've had a lot of people come back to me and go like, I spent $10 on this book. I expect a new book without an error in it.
You don't know how lucky you are. Some of the books cost $90,000.
$90,000. I told them, hold on to it. It'll be famous someday.
I will say, really quick shout.
It's like to have that kind of money.
Huh?
Yeah, that'd be
Only
nice.
imagine what it would be like to have that kind of money.
Yeah, I can only imagine it
to
too.
spend 90 grand on some paper.
Yeah.
I wonder who bought it too, because I know that they had, I think it was some letters from Jane Austen a few years ago, and no, it was a brooch or something like that, and Renee Zellweger was going to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone in Britain was like, "What? You can't buy Jane Austen's whatever." So they actually put up money and beat her auction so that the Jane Austen thing would stay in England, which I respect.
That's probably a lot of these things get done. People will buy them and they'll put them in museums.
I literally almost fell asleep there when you tell that story. I
told
don't mean to be
it
rude.
very badly.
It's like
Very badly.
Yeah,
This is why I'm here. So if he falls asleep, I still have a captive audience.
Be like, all right, Mitch. So.
Yeah, exactly. Anything goes.
I will say it's not like you remember that quote from that movie. Everyone here is now stupider from having to listen to that. That's not the case, but I think everyone's just a little bit more tired.
That's true.
All right.
So going back to the Dora the Explorer thing, which you alluded to in your earlier speech. Yes.
You don't know who Danny Trejo is.
Actually, I do, because he showed me a picture.
All right, yes.
And he was actually already in a children's movie. He was in Spy Kids.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you saying that there's some false information in my opening monologue? Which is typically the case.
Some of the things you said in it weren't exactly true.
Well, it's like typically most everything I say in it is not actually true. It's taken a modicum of truth and then I make a joke about it. But the only thing that wasn't a joke, which was absolutely actually true, was Nicolas Cage coming out in a movie called Jiu-Jitsu, which our social media guy sent us that. He usually doesn't gather the news, but he sent us this thing, and I said, this is too awesome. Nicolas Cage starring, first of all, in a martial arts movie, period. Okay? You know, I was trying to think of, could I do a Nicolas Cage imitation, but I couldn't. I don't think I could make my face look that silly. Anyways.
Wow.
Now, I don't know a lot about Variety, but they're pretty legit publication, right?
Yeah, Variety, yeah.
That's where the article was.
No, I believe that the movie's actually coming out. He's done a lot of action movies as of late. A lot. Anyways, we're going into break in a minute, and we're going to have the Garcia brothers coming in talking about their film Blood Throne, which stars Pierre Rumpf. And we have, who is it? Peter Lavasco says, Pierre Rumpf is an amazing actor. Can't wait to see him in the Blood Throne. So yeah, we got a captive audience in Facebook Live, which is really cool. So
probably people from all over too. I think
you worked on it too, didn't you?
The makeup artist, I think, is in L.A. Is she out west now, or still?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so we got people from across the country.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
If that guy in Sweden that wakes up, we'll.
Did you say the guy in Sweden?
Yeah, we have a friend in Sweden.
We have a friend in Sweden that actually came over here and filmed a couple projects with us. So that's going to be.
Well, that should be the neat.
Huh?
That would be the neat.
That would have been neat. Yeah. Verdi Fuganugan. Okay, he's probably hopefully not watching this episode. All right, but we will.
Please don't watch.
I think we're going to be
Sorry,
showing
I brought him up.
We're going to be showing the trailer for Blood Throne.
Yes,
and
we are.
we will be. This is the trailer for the upcoming film Blood Throne, directed by the Garcia brothers, and we will be right back with the Garcia brothers after this.
I thought that you had betrayed me. Us.
You are truly mad, but the enemy of my enemy.
Wait for my message. Timing is crucial.
Not here, Harriet. Is the royal family not worthy of your respect?
By spilling blood, I built this throne. And by blood, I'll lose it. Messiah, born to a virgin, go to Bethlehem. Make an example of every male toddler in the vicinity. We'll find them.
Your Joseph.
Miriam!
What's going on?
Please. Now you must trust me.
I was just told, and we're going to be live and oops, now. That's what I heard. It's the Early Late Night Live Show. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 here on Exeter Channel 98 and our Facebook page, Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page. We got a lot of people on the Facebook Live from today. Catherine Castricone says, I'm here, cousin. I'm assuming that's because our producer, Joe Castricone, is back in the room back
Joe's
there.
back.
And yes, Joe's back. Stephen Lomer's in the Facebook Live from Adam Griswold and Ida Thomas. So yes, anyways, I want to introduce the Garcia brothers here, Jonathan and Xavier, who, the producers. Only one of you is the director. I think it was Xavier.
Yeah.
Yes, the director of the film Blood Throne, starring Pierre Rump, which is about Herod and after the birth of Jesus. So I want to ask you about the dynamics of working together as siblings. Now, I have no idea what that's like, all right, just to state, okay, all right. And I could at least say it's interesting at times, there's probably there may be a lot less swearing on your set, I don't know. So, and maybe there's a modicum of respect, I don't know. So anyways, I've been using that word modicum twice tonight, so just so you know.
I'm impressed.
But tell us a little bit about what it's like working as brothers on this.
Sure. Well, we've actually been working together since, we've been doing everything together since, what was it? Like our first film was probably in middle school.
Yeah, I think for sure it was happening one of our classes that we were in together in high school, which we did.
Introduction to television and we've every aspect of our lives, whether it's been like with sports or just playing as kids, everything has been together, and so it just kind of transitioned into filmmaking.
Okay.
Awesome.
And as far as dynamics, I don't know. We've grown up as best friends, and so on set it's just that carrying over.
Yeah, it's kind of scary sometimes because you're thinking one thing, and when you're working with people and you tell someone go do this or go do that, you're expecting that your brother would also agree to you.
Right.
So when you're sending someone's, this is how we want the shot, or that's how we want the shot, and I say something. It's actually pretty amazing how it's on point every time, and there's never that friction to be like, oh, well, I want it this way or that way. So I don't know about you guys, but I know that it's worked that way.
And a lot of that is also preparation. We do a lot of prep beforehand, and so that
our arguments happen before, usually when we're writing the script. That'll be
that's the best time.
That usually ends with like one of these damn it, I'm never talking to her again. I have a thing, what the heck is the matter with her? She's an idiot, and then my mom calls me up and says, go talk to your sister, So, yeah, we say, Ida Thomas says, my handsome nephews. I'm assuming they're referring to you because I don't think I have an aunt named Ida, and I'm pretty sure neither me and Mitch aren't related. So.
We aren't. Thank God.
Who's the older brother?
I am.
You are? Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
So is there the older, younger sibling dynamic at all? I have to ask that because I have a lot of younger siblings that work with me, and I've been beating them up since they were younger, and so now it's gotten to a point where they're all tougher than me, so I have to make them movie stars.
That's hilarious. No, I think we both have some unique passions in what we do, and Jonathan as a DP and as a creative just at large. Has gotten to a level in his profession that there's a respect and almost an admiration, and so there isn't this. I'm almost at times I'm looking to him for his perspective, for his point of view, because he looks at things from a different point of view. Sometimes I'm very analytical. It's like, okay, this is step one, this is step two, this is step three, and he's looking at it as like, well, how can we add the art into this? And I know my limitations and I know where he excels, and so it's more of like, okay. Here's what I've got. What are you thinking about this?
Now, do you guys have any other siblings in your family?
No.
Okay, all right. But there is sort of like when your family, there's growing up together. There's sort of like, okay, if you're doing something, then I'll do the other thing, and there's sort of that understanding. So it's like if I'm writing a film or directing a film, Arnie is more the analytical one, and the other way around. Kind of like that. If if Arnie's directing a film, has written it, I'm usually more the analytical one. Come and say, well, this is missing. Yeah, and but it's easy when you have a lot less time with that shorthand of growing up together.
Yeah, no, I think Xavier. He's such a great writer. Ever since we were little, I'm almost positive. I know Xavier wrote the Bourne Ultimate series, the original. When we were little, Xavier's always been a writer his whole life, and I've always just been the visual guy. I've always been on the camera. So ever since we were a kid, we were making movies at home. I was always on the camera. I love to get in front of it, but I always love holding the camera. So I think it just expanded from there, and it just continued on where there really wasn't any competition within each other's position. I think it was more so the ultimate goal that we envisioned going in is fulfilled, and I think that's where we don't really.
But to your point, there's most certainly that aspect. It's like, okay, this job needs to be done, and we're looking at one another. It's like, okay, well, if I'm handling this, you're able to handle that.
Right.
And absolutely. And I mean, we've got a couple of cousins actually that we work closely with that we almost feel like we're like, hey, you're our third, you are our third brother.
Right. Yeah.
He literally finishes our sentences, and we've gotten to the point even in our team because we've worked so closly and we usually have a very similar base as far as like from film to film, and then from there, we build out in that base where at that point where we know where each one of us excels, and so we have certain expectations of if this is the job, we know so and so is going to accomplish this,
right.
so and so is going to accomplish.
So I do want to ask you about the writing because it's obviously it's a biblical story, okay?
Yes.
But my question is, I don't remember this story. I don't remember some elements of like what happened to Harry beforehand in the Bible, and so now how. To me, that would be really tricky. Like, I'm not sure if some people would say like you got to be careful with how you produce a Spider-Man film. Well, yeah, this is the Bible. Like, I'd be really. There's a lot of people that really like this book, So how did you? What was the writing process for this?
That's actually really hilarious because we were having that same exact discussion. Just like
it's got literally the world's biggest fan base.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the best-selling book of all time.
Right.
Well, it's interesting because where we chose was really between two testaments in that time period, and so there is a little bit of breathing room for interpretation, and the fact that we introduced some fictional characters into it also allows us to do that.
Right.
And so now we're looking, obviously we're looking through source material, we're looking at the Bible, we're looking at Josephus's works, we're
right.
looking into some historical texts. We're also looking into how the other filmmakers have dealt with this timepiece and this time period, and seeing, just kind of the steps that they took, the areas where they succeeded and they failed, and then we bring our imagination into it.
So you looked at the Noah's Ark film, Russell Crowe, and said we're going to do nothing that movie did.
Well, you'd be surprised. There are some elements where it succeeds. We looked at it from, for example, if we're watching that film and we're looking at it from the perspective of CGI and graphics, and we're like, okay, you know what? They did a phenomenal job at least presenting it visually. Yeah, obviously it has all of its, you can argue it in any way, in which way, as far as where it succeeds and fails as far as theological work. But, but as far as like a film and for its visual beauty, we were like, these are certain elements of this that we can, let's put it this way: our film was how much? What's the percentage of blue screen on that? I mean, there's a ton of VFX on it.
I'd say 60-40, maybe 7. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've.
Well, it's gonna be rough as a cinematographer then.
Oh yeah, I mean, I that's solely what I am, cinematographer. I'm not a VFX guy. I mean, I know how to do some VFX work. So going into this, we're thinking, how are we going to create this world? Because we had actual sets prepared for where we wanted to film this, and
some ideal places and ideal practical locations.
Right.
And so when all those turned back negative, like no, can't film there, can't film there, it's just like, all right, so just throw a blue screen on there.
Right.
And we ended up finding some people that know the field, and we were able to kind of make things work out.
Well, that's a funny story because we were talking about one of the films we're finishing up called Dinner Party, and Arnie was telling me this one thing we needed to work on, and she was talking about how she looked it up and how to actually do the effect. And I said, yes, I know how to do the effect, I just can't do it. Like this requires someone who knows what the heck they're doing, which doesn't fit the category of anything I know. And so yeah, it's tough though when you are. If you don't, it must be tricky, especially because if you don't know how how to do it, then I'd be afraid of, I would have the visual effects guy call them saying, "What are you trying to do to my life?"
Right.
But and that's because they have to meld literally analog with digital right there. So, but the visual effects look really great in the film. So watching the trailer, they looked really good. They're pretty seamless. It seemed like.
Well, I mean, we had an amazing team. Jonathan led the VFX team in the VFX department, but we had an amazing team. I mean, we had people working on it from in Germany. A couple of guys at Composite Media GBR, Cornelius Schiel and Stefan. Working on certain elements of the VFX while Jonathan is working on certain elements of the VFX, and we had other individuals working on the VFX. So we ended up over the course of time creating a VFX team, which wasn't initially the plan going into it. We knew we were going to do VFX. but the hope was that these practical locations would have worked out. But no, but now, you know, once you've got the, like we were talking about earlier, the planning phases were so key and so crucial in actually executing.
The more you know beforehand, the better, because there's going to be problems on set anyway. So like try to limit what they're going to be.
We hate, we'll fix it in post. Like, no. We're going to get it right now. We're going to read the plan and we're going to get it right.
There's enough to fix in post. Let's not add to the list if we don't have to. So speaking of that, though, with visual effects, how do you create ancient Judea in New England? Now, I've never been there, but I have a feeling the landscape's probably not similar to, I don't know how many pine trees they have there. Or,
exactly. Being creative, thinking really outside the box. You know, at the end of the day, it's it's what's captured in the frame, and so if you can having a brilliant DP to be able to choose an angle and say, okay, we're going to work with these types of lenses as opposed to something that's wider in order to capture emotion, and maybe we can get a real shallow shot and really focus on the face, things like that. Especially when we're doing some of those exterior shots. That's essentially. I mean, you could probably talk a little bit more to this.
I think it's like you were mentioning earlier. I mean, the research for the Masada Fortress was extensive. I mean, there's not much out there, and so you're going through Pinterest and finding pinned up and all these different locations where you're going, and then and then you end up jumping on something that is just good enough, because you want to create the whole thing, but we only have just like one section in the film, that flyover, and
which I loved. By
that
the
shot
way.
was amazing.
I got so excited that flyover. I was like, oh my God, it's Masada.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so just that.
I was like, it's a big building.
That alone took forever. I mean, that was already that shot started. I would say almost a year before.
Yeah, you started working on that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because again, we didn't have a big VFX team. We didn't go out here and looking for ILM. We have just a crew of guys. Just like we want to start modeling this stuff now because this is the idea that we have, and it just so happened to have finished right in time.
All right. Well, quick shout out to Francis Charles Sheehan, who also made a period piece, which should be coming out soon. Let me see. We have Arissa Page. And I realized, there's some sort of weird notation on the top of one of the letters. And I realized, no, it's just a smudge in my screen. And Mark Drutz in the Facebook live room. Hello, everybody. But last, because we're running out of time, and you guys going to stick around for Trailer Trash so you can rate the films? Sure. Yeah, cool. All right, let's do this. One last thing. All right, how many types of films do you enjoy making when it comes to like genres?
That's funny. It really depends on the story. It depends on the story. Whatever it is, the story that we're passionate about and specifically desiring to tell. We build around that story. What genre is necessary in order for us to tell that story best? Sometimes a Western is necessary, versus sometimes you need a sci-fi. Sometimes you need a biblical film in order to bring home a very specific moral argument. It really depends on it, and we love. I think the majority of what's out there and what is seen under our portfolio is these biblical films, and so it's like, do you guys do other things? Like, yeah, we've been working on a sci-fi that we're really pumped about, So really, it just depends on the story.
All right, now this is not on the list, but it's a question I do want to ask. If there's one thing in a movie you would want to do, what would it be? I'll start with you.
Oh man, okay. One thing that I would want to do in a movie.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do like an outer space scene.
Cool,
going traveling frontier.
Zero gravity.
Zero gravity. Yeah. I always wanted to do something like that. I felt like that's always been like a fun cinematic scene.
That'd be
that
fun.
I love to film.
Xavier?
It's funny you say zero gravity because I'm thinking, Christopher Nolan's spinning room.
Oh yeah.
Some extremely choreographed fighting sequence in some extreme environment. that's
without gravity.
I want to fight on top of a train, so I know the feeling on that. All right.
No gravity
Okay,
equals
folks.
fun.
We want to thank the Garcia brothers coming in. They're going to be sticking around for Trailer Trash. When we get back, we'll be going into Trailer Trash. Was there something else we got to play at this middle spot? I don't know. We're playing something.
I think we're playing Stephen Lomer's.
Oh yeah, Stephen Lomer. Yes, the trailer for Typo Squad is coming up right now. Yes, Stephen Lomer. Go for it. Right back.
The following preview has been approved for all audiences. Welcome to a world where typos can kill. Where only one team can protect the public from the forces of errorism. That team is Typo Squad. Typo Squad. Coming soon.
And you're back. It's the early late night live show on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 on Exeter Channel 98. And our Facebook page, Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page, and our YouTube channel, the Early Late Night Live Show YouTube channel. We'll be here for a couple weeks. I like this area. Still trying not to do this in the seat the whole time, but yes, I want to give a quick shout out to our studio audience right now. So give yourselves a hand because you guys showed up. So I very much
make it sound like there's more people here.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're doing it. Yeah.
I'm so excited. We have an audience.
But what you just saw was the trailer for our short film Typo Squad, written by Stephen Lomer, directed by KJ Traynor, and that should be coming out soon. It's a project we've been working on for a while now. Very excited about that. Stephen Lomer says, "Woohoo! That was great. Good. I hope you think that was great." That was,
it was good.
But right now it's our favorite segment of the show. We're turning over to Trailer Trash. And our first trailer up is
Cobra Kai Season 2.
Cobra Kai Season 2. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. So, Arnie, give us a lowdown on Cobra Kai Season 2.
Okay, so this is the second season of the show, which focuses 35 years after the Karate Kid. And Johnny Lawrence seeks redemption by reopening his infamous Cobra Kai dojo. And in this new season, Danny LaRusso opens his own as well.
Yeah, so did you watch... Okay, show of hands who saw the first season of Cobra Kai. All right, Tim,
2.5 episodes.
You saw 2.5 episodes?
Nice.
Yeah.
What happened to the other half?
I don't know exactly. It just stopped playing, so I stopped watching.
Okay, I really liked this. And I wasn't a huge fan of the original Karate Kid movie, and I felt like this made the original Karate Kid movie that much better. It was really cool. It kind of brought it into real life. The martial arts was really good in it. The story was really good, and it was funny. Yeah, so I'm very excited about the second season. I will say this trailer didn't get me too excited though.
Okay.
So I don't really know if the movie's gonna be any good, but
it'd be hard to beat the first trailer.
They're really making Danny LaRusso seem like the bad guy in this season too, which
yeah,
I don't think that many people are going to be all that disappointed in. But what's your thoughts?
After watching those 2.5 episodes,
yeah, he was totally sold.
I wasn't overly impressed, but I did like the idea that they were focused. So the Cobra Kai is the nemesis from the film, essentially, right? The Nemesis studio from.
Are you asking that?
No, so I'm telling you.
Okay.
Because I know, not that you know, but anyway.
Right.
So for our studio audience. Well, anyway, so I like the fact that they were switching it up a little bit in that perspective, making it about him is more so, and but no, I wasn't very impressed with the writing, so I wasn't really sure what I was going to think of the trailer, and then I saw that they put the guy who was running the original Cobra Kai
he's back.
Is back now. So was he in the first season before?
Just at the very end.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, he's at the very end.
Well, thanks.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked. No, I'm definitely not watching the other half of that episode.
All right.
I really like the original show movies. I watched the first 3. I didn't watch the one with Hilary Swank, just because I forgot there wasn't a one with
Well, the third one was like... The third one was so bad. Third Karate Kid movie was so bad, it was amazing.
Yes, it was like a bad TV movie that you just kind of want to watch again and again.
This was like Hallmark bad awesome. Now, I just thought after you pinnacled with the best, worst movie you ever could have made, how can you top that? So I didn't bother watching the Hilary Swank one either. So that was how I felt. Have you guys seen the trailer for this yet?
I have not, but I have seen, just like Mitch, the first 2 episodes of the
Because it was free.
season.
Let's all admit it.
Actually, yeah, it was free.
Yeah, it was free, right, yes.
Well, I mean,
you have to get YouTube Red after that, right?
I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great offshoot of the whole, of the movie. I didn't really get into it. It didn't pull me at one point, but I thought it was. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I think it was during the time when we were doing a blood throne too. So I think I was
a little busy.
Yeah, maybe. Xavier?
I mean, what we do is essentially, making offshoots. We're taking the Bible and telling other stories, and so I always think that whenever a writer does that, it's a brilliant idea. It's really great of, just seeing the continuation of that. What was the trailer that we just saw? We were just watching a trailer where they were doing precisely that. They were taking a character.
Hey, we're not talking about other trailers right now. I'm just saying.
It's just, I think that's a great idea.
I
love following a story, further beyond what the film gave us and just following.
I like seeing it from different perspectives.
Which I agree with on. That was the reason why I thought that season was really good, because there was it like just sort of started to bring made the series that much more real, and it sort of like kind of justified a lot of the stuff that happened in the first 2, especially. So
I like the fact that it was the 2 actors that really wanted to bring it to the show. They were shopping it all around, and it was YouTube that picked it up.
Well, that's the beauty of television. You're able to explore the story deeper.
The martial arts, I will say this, the martial arts was actually really good. And it was nice to not be lost in a whole bunch of MMA stuff. Like, there's a line where the guy said, was that, the kid saw the main character do some fighting. He said, was that like MMA? He goes, no, it's karate, just good old-fashioned karate. And he walks away, and it's like such a great line. I was like, thank you, yes, So I was happy to see that. But let's jump around. We'll do a rating. We're going to have Mitch start with the rating, so you guys can kind of see how we do this. Mitch, your rating for Cobra Kai Season 2.
Oh, I'm gonna go 2 sideways.
2 sideways?
Yep,
Okay.
I like the original characters being there, and then but the writing is just not impressed.
Okay, all right, okay.
Well, I'm going to do 1.5 because nostalgia.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 1.5 also. Very excited about it, but the trailer for this, I'm very excited about it because of the first season. The second season trailer looks good. It doesn't look great. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Jonathan?
I would also, I think I'd do 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
cinematography is really good.
I think it was all in all. I think it was a great story. I think it pulled me when I first saw it. I think I really don't know much about the second season, so I haven't really been able to.
Well, it hasn't come out yet. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you go.
And I give it 1.5.
Okay.
The 1 obviously just. I love the idea of taking characters and building story off of them further than what the film showed, and the half is just because I haven't seen the trailer.
Okay, all right. So let's roll into the next trailer. Oh, Kate Epper says hi, and Mike Kehoe says hi also. So,
hello, Kate.
All right. So let's roll the next trailer.
Okay, so this is for Stranger Things, the season 3 on Netflix, and I'm just trying to find the cast here because.
Can we say the king of nostalgia? This trailer, all right? It's nostalgia for its previous seasons, nostalgia for the music, all right? Nostalgia for the era, like this, so. And I'm going to jump right in and say something about this because I actually just started watching the first season. Hannah really liked the first, I think, first 2 seasons. She said, "Oh, let's start watching it." And then we started watching something else, and we never got that far into it. But now I'm watching the 3rd season, like, okay, now all the tension is gone because I know who doesn't die in the first 2 seasons. So, they found that kid. All right, there he goes. He's okay. But let's jump around the room and start with seriously, Mitch. What you got?
So I really like Stranger Things and overall, and this trailer I wasn't sure what to expect, but it looks gorgeous. It's hilarious. I mean, funny, they open up with and then they get the creature, and they've got some of these like dream, other dimensional kind of references or scenes in it. It just looked awesome and everything I would expect it to be. So yeah, looking forward to it.
All right.
I wonder what his rating's going to be.
Did I give it away?
A little bit, yeah. All right, Arnie?
Well, I got a confession to make. I actually haven't seen the trailer yet. I thought I watched it. I thought I watched it, and I just completely spaced it, so I apologize. I cannot comment
is this
on
sort of
this.
like and you're swimming in your chair. Episode?
I'm telling.
And I'm swinging in my chair. It's a bad moment.
I have an excuse. I have to look from here to here.
You have an excuse.
To here, So, okay. So, and no thoughts on this trailer. It's right there. They're playing.
I appreciate the colors.
Okay, all right.
It's pretty.
Okay, yeah. Look at his face.
I haven't seen it either. As I'm looking at it now,
I'm sorry. I
would agree. I mean, it looks like I don't know. I mean, it looks like the cinematography looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
It's Netflix. They have almost as much money as Disney. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. All
Not
right.
much.
Yeah, but that's nothing else to say about the trailer. Did you watch any of the ones? Or?
No, actually, I haven't watched any of these. Any of I haven't
any of the Netflix stuff. Any of the recent stuff, anyway.
Yeah.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah. All right.
They are. I haven't seen it either, so.
Okay. Well, I think we can guess what their rating is going to be.
Yeah.
But we'll start off with Mitch, who's going to rate 2 thumbs up.
I'm actually going to do 1 up and 1 way up.
There you go.
That's
Just to throw it off.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have Arnie, who didn't watch the trailer, so she's going to do 1 up and 1 down.
Okay, yep, that works.
There we go. All right.
I bet you would have gone 2 up.
Yeah.
Probably would have seen it.
Me, because 1 thumb solidly up, and then because it was a really good trailer. But since I haven't seen the other 2 seasons, this one's wavering. But
you're
if
like,
the thing
you don't wanna
is,
commit?
You're not sure, yeah.
if this was the first season, and I saw this trailer, it'd be 2 solid thumbs up. You know what I mean? Because it's like, wow, this trailer is that good. But there is 2 other seasons. I started watching the first season, which was really good. I just don't know how it's going to develop because I see.
You haven't seen them yet.
You'll just have to trust my 1 way up.
I will trust your 1 way up. All right, so
I don't know. What's this?
this is negates it. Just as like
Yeah, that means you have no
it
opinion.
looks good. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I'm giving the 2 lost thumbs because I haven't seen it. I have no idea.
Thank you guys for making me not feel alone. I appreciate it.
I can do this too if you want.
Yeah. hey, gotta have you back on the show at some point.
I think we've introduced like a whole slew of other thumb options
I think
during this
so.
episode.
But
We've
want to
got
thank our guests for
waverings
coming on, Jonathan and Xavier Garcia, Mount Harvest Productions, right?
Yes.
Yes, I remembered it.
And we did drop a whole bunch of links into the Facebook Live room, so you can follow
their
it.
Check
film,
them out.
Check out their film, Blood Throne. That's in a whole bunch of festival circuits right now, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's first showing at BIFF, Boston International Film Festival, April 12th, which I think it's already sold out.
9 o'clock.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you not buy your ticket?
Did you not buy a ticket, Mitch?
No, I'm not usually that quick to jump on stuff like that.
Congratulations
But
on
you know what?
signing
No,
up.
I'm going to get a VIB pass and then I'll get in.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Because I got 3 films in it, so I'm going to be there Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like us to get a press pass, and they'd be like, "Do you guys report the news?" Well, we say things about the news. It's not actually accurate.
I'm look into that.
So yeah.
I know one of the curators, so I'll check it out.
All right, cool. All right. Well, gentlemen, great having you on the
Awesome,
show.
thank you.
This has been really awesome. Check out Mount Harvest Films online and on Facebook. Their film Blood Throne will be playing April 12th at the Boston International Film Festival. It's already sold out, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find other announcements on social media feeds for the next ones coming up. Already award-nominated film, which is pretty awesome. So, all right, folks, it's the Early Late Night Live Show. We're on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. 7 to 8.
There's no hate in this show.
Right, I know. On Channel 98, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. And we will be right back.
We look cool, don't we? 2 badass guys and a Mini Cooper.
Yeah, gone. All credibility.
All gone. We just lost it.
Out the window, man.
Well, the basic idea was going to go from the State House to Lubec, Maine on 1 tank of gas. 7-hour journey. 7 hours to the end of the world.
We'll be driving from Concord, New Hampshire to Lubec, Maine, which is the easternmost part of the United States. So essentially, as far as any American is concerned, it's the end of the world.
We're turning onto Ireland Drive. Now, if you don't know this about, I don't know why we're turning onto Ireland Drive.
$5, we missed our turn.
We started this epic journey. 40 minutes in, we haven't even left Concord yet.
That was pretty bad. Oh, yeah. No, that's Two-Face.
Still got
5 hours.
don't mind.
And does this place exist?
I gotta Google animals with cameras.
That's really weird.
Morning, sweetheart.
Oh, hey, yeah.
The director was late in telling me when we were live. And now the camera's back on me. It's the Early Late Night Live Show. We're on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. We have guests of all sorts. We have filmmakers, we have directors, we have authors, we have comedians, we don't have photographers. It just doesn't happen. Though we need one to take photos of us for the show. We're not quite sure how we're going to go about doing that because I spent a year and a half saying we don't have them as guests on the show. But it is now turning over to our special segment, our new segment of the show. Let's roll the opening intro, please.
Oh, are we doing
There's
that?
an intro.
Are we doing it?
It should be an intro.
I did tell. Dan and I talked about it.
I was told there was an intro.
Perhaps there isn't.
Maybe there isn't, and the director better tell me in my ear whether or not there's. I'm on live TV right now, so
we're gonna start next week.
I keep it coming up. It's coming. We're getting it ready. It isn't like
it's a big one. You guys gonna like it? There we go.
Everything goes with Mitch. Except for that one thing he did. All right, so
we'll fix that.
This is our segment of the show. Everything goes with Mitch, and we mean everything. And you know the incident we're talking about. And so we turn it over to Mitch.
And we mean everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I should probably tell you next time that I changed the production of the show, and actually we cut that scene because we wanted to make some changes to the script in that particular piece.
So everything goes as in like taking over the production of the show, which is sort of like my job. Like, was this a decision that was made
on the set?
I appreciate. I will say this. I appreciate the assertiveness to try and like but seriously, Mitch, you're like, like this is a full blown earning of a seriously, Mitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
I guess everything goes here. All right, here we go. All right, what's up for the everything goes with Mitch? We mean everything.
So we're actually running. We're going to talk about Kiss tonight.
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah. Well, you pointed out the fact that I was wearing a shirt, and I am because they're on tour for their final tour.
Again.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that a lot of the guests or a lot of the fans are, they're still having that conversation. But the truth of the matter is, I think we really think about it, they're done, and they've said as much. They're going to be on 96 concerts in the next 2 years, adding to an already impressive 2,000 plus 2,212 actual shows that they've done in their 46-year-long career.
96. How many concerts is that a year then? I mean, that's a lot. It's like it's almost 40. I mean, it's like, what,
yeah, some of them were 80 show long. Like this one's 96 shows long, but it's overseas as well, and they know it's over a couple of years essentially, like a good 24 months. Started in January.
That's almost like a show a week.
So
for
yeah.
That's
well, they did Connecticut last Saturday, I think, and then they were someplace else, and then we were in Boston yesterday, last night, and then they'll be in Madison Square Garden tomorrow, and then they start heading down south, and they end up in Ohio, and it's so just the band itself and what they've been through. I mean, there's 57 and 61 years old, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, respectively.
Wow.
And the fact that they're able to do and perform the way that they do, they're performing every second of the show, except for when the lights are not on them. And then they're getting their water and, joking when picking with the crowd. And, I mean, it's just really cool. I was stage right, got to see them up close. It was just a really impressive setup. And then the whole set and the way it was built was amazing. If you're friends or on my Facebook page, then you can actually see a bunch of pictures and some videos and such.
So it was a good concert, I take it?
It was amazing. It was an amazing show.
Did you want to rock and roll all night?
They saved that song for last, which was awesome.
Yes.
So, but yeah, lots of pyrotechnics, which was really, really cool. And I'm glad I went. I decided to go last minute. I wasn't going to go originally because of the expense and primarily, but and then it was
between that and buying a ticket to Blood Throne, and you bought a ticket to Kiss. And that's
well, if there were tickets to Blood Throne on the night of the show, and I was hemming and hawing over it, then it would have been an easier decision, actually.
He didn't put you in a difficult position at all, right?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, everything goes in this segment, okay?
Not for you, Terry, for me. This is my segment.
Okay, now I feel bad.
All right. So anyways, it was an amazing time. I'm glad I went. And if you get a chance to see the show, go, because it was awesome. And that wasn't the only thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, though.
All right.
That was just me kind of gloating about my life experiences.
It's like, Mitch's life is awesome. He just wanted everyone to know.
Mitch's life is awesome, ruling.
treated myself, without a doubt, for that particular event. And we got to go with a good friend who I hadn't seen in a while, or I got to hang out with for a while, who he's probably been to 40 Kiss concerts. He's been to like 300 concerts in the last 10 or 15 years.
Are you a concert guy?
I was more so when I was younger. I loved to go, but I never I mean, I've probably been to 8 or 10. I can't really remember.
Right, yeah, I'm not really, okay, I think that classifies you as not a concert person, like, because I'm like, I don't really typically like large, overcrowded areas that are really loud. Sort of rules out most concerts.
Yeah.
Either that, if it's not like that, it's probably not a good band. So, you know, like, and so that's kind of like, whenever I go to a concert, I always sit like as far back as I can, because I'm paranoid and I want to make sure I'm near the exit, you know. But I can see Barry Manilow from that far, I guess.
Yeah, this place was sold out. We got there an hour early. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, Barry Manilow.
It's a good concert, actually.
I actually started getting into Barry Manilow once upon a time, I will admit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, okay.
But then I stopped. I'm not sure exactly why.
So it's like the same thing about this second half of that Cobra Kai episode. It's like he just wasn't there.
Well, yeah, well, in that, anyways, when it came to Barry Manilow, it was probably a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know what we planned for this segment, but this is
I have no idea.
It's just gone.
It's music related, at least. Right?
That's right.
It's kind of different.
That's right. I remember the biggest concert I've gone to was probably the One Direction concert, their farewell tour with my little sister.
Yeah.
And you do not know the power of teenage girls until you've been to
can
One
imagine.
Direction concert. It was amazing.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
We also went to, was it Carrie?
I went to see Carrie Underwood, and I also went to see Taylor Swift. I dragged Callie to see that.
The demographics are completely different, too.
Yeah.
So going to a concert as a kid, as opposed to going to a concert now, at this age, with this band in particular.
Well, unless you go to Barry Manilow concert, then you're the youngest person in the world.
It's, I would be.
Well, I know because my sister Callie, she wanted to go to see One Direction, so I went with her. And then she wanted to see Barry Manilow in the same year, so she took Terry. And I'm like, you went on two completely opposite ends of like the pop song fandom.
She said, which by the way was a funny thing. I went into work and I had to make sure I told every single guy I worked with that I went to see a Barry Manilow concert, because if they found out, I wasn't going to be able to live it down, so I might as well just walk straight into that. But what I didn't realize going into the Barry Manilow concert was really the fact that I didn't realize I was going to know pretty much every song. Like, that bothered me a little bit. B, sang with most of the songs, all right? And C, really thought this was probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to. Which shows I'm probably not a concert guy, and I got odd chasing music for a 30-something-year-old man. So,
yeah, concerts are a hobby for some people, and they'll go to see pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, smaller venues are cooler. Being at the TD Garden at a big concert like that is a different experience, you know, for sure. But going to some place like, well, geez, yeah, out of, you know, in Hampton or some of the smaller venues.
Yeah, which is
a different experience altogether.
The
Hampton, that's right,
Ballroom,
Casino Ballroom, yeah, and the old Avalon down in Boston. I've seen shows down there.
What was the Blues Club, or what's it called down in Boston?
Yeah, it's the Blues, something Blues.
Right.
I've never been to that one.
And there's the Wang Theater, and there's a lot of concert venues down in Boston.
I went to saw Slayer at the Wang Theater.
No.
That was interesting and fun show.
Yeah. You definitely have slightly different tastes in going to concert music than
Yeah, no. Although I have seen not Barry Manilow. I saw Michael Bolton at the Holman Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Were you one of the only guys there?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, the only guy and only probably, not wearing a muumuu.
Yeah.
I feel your pain. I was like probably the oldest person in this section of the One Direction concert. I felt so old.
Yeah, the demographics probably went like this when you walked into the building. Compared to the 12 and 13-year-olds you were probably hanging out with.
Did you just call Arnie like that much older? Like, is that what you did? I'm pretty sure you just did this. Just did this. He goes, yeah, I'm sure the demographics just went like this.
Shut
and it's just it's like you're pretty old.
There were a couple of moms there drinking wine and like getting like while their daughters were dancing in the front row. They were like behind at the bar going like, this concert's going to end someday.
That's funny. They were actually drinking wine?
Yeah.
They didn't have any wine at the Kiss concert.
That's amazing.
Just beer and vodka and gin, I think.
They know their they know their audience. Yeah.
I had to go to I had to meet up with this singer who's now a friend of mine, but he was in a Swedish band, and I like the guy, and I've worked with the guy on a couple things, and I'm not really a concert guy, and I don't really like big, loud, screaming music. You know, I said I'm not really.
So we
into
won't see you at a Slayer concert.
No, you won't see me at a Slayer concert. But I was there at the concert with a couple of other guys. We were meeting up to talk about a film project, and there's this mosh pit going on, and there's this like a bunch of people running around and screaming and stuff like that. And I'm just sort of standing in the back like this, you know. And there's this one guy who's just rocking out, and he looks over me, he goes, "You are a friggin' buzzkill," you know that. You know, but anyways,
I gotta agree with that guy.
I am a bit of a buzzkill. Anyways, we gotta start wrapping up this show, and as we found out with the Anything Goes with Mitch, including changing the title and the name of the thing, even though, you know, without telling me, yes, it's truly anything goes. So yeah.
Hey, you know what? So it's not my responsibility to check with you and stuff. By the way, yeah. So I'm gonna say, damn it, Dan.
Damn it, Dan.
You got me in trouble.
Yeah. Damn it, Dan. Yeah. Just realize that. Okay, Arnie. A bit of advice for someone out there in the artistic field, because we have a lot of artists in our guests. So what would be the one bit of advice you would give them?
Keep on keeping on.
Okay, all right. Mitch, a bit of advice you would give to the artist out there struggling and trying to make his way in this world.
Yeah, learn your craft and take it not seriously, but be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess my bit of advice would be to
take time and enjoy the Barry Manilow concert.
Take time and take time and enjoy the Barry Manilow concert, which is very true. Also, and I think our guests were really good examples of this. Follow your heart. And I know this sounds like a really cheesy phrase, because it is a cheesy phrase and it gets overused. But what I mean by follow your heart is this is not an industry that you want to waste any time in, because a lot of times it's already going to be wasted. So don't be a part of a project that you don't in your heart feel like is the right project. That's not a good idea. So, and if you follow your heart, you will figure out a way. Every step towards any destination, whether far or close, always begins with a step. So step in the direction that you feel most tugging towards. All right, anyways, it's the early late night live show. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 on Exeter Channel 98. Want to thank Mitch Fortier for coming on to the show. Seriously, Mitch, I'll yell damn it Dan later on. And KJ, you're here. Want to thank our studio audience. Give yourselves a hand once again. Want to thank our tech crew. Want to thank the Garcia brothers for coming in. Check out their film Blood Throne. Check out The American Traveler, and Typo Squad will be coming out very soon. We'll be back next week, folks. So we'll see you. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
All right.